Okay, and now that you've come to the final report, there are a few tips I would like to share with you. Look, at this point, the way I designed the exercise, right here at the top, you can see an icon, an audio icon, the little blue speaker there that you can play and you can listen to the final report and then complete with the words that have been removed from the text. You can do that. Of course, you can totally do that. But here's a great opportunity for you to challenge yourself. So why not try to reconstruct that story yourself, considering that you know all there is to know about the story. So let's try and do that together right now. Okay, so here we go. Look, Mrs. Carson in front of a psychiatric hospital. So I'm giving a location. Now, normally when we do that, when we talk about the position, the location of something, the linking word is the verb to be. Okay, now, is the verb to be here available somewhere? Well, it's right here. So Mrs. Carson, she was. Well, it matches. So she was in front of a psychiatric hospital. A nurse came out. And then I know at this point there are other options because we can think, okay, she was in front of a hospital. She was in front of a psychiatric hospital and a nurse came out. Yes. She was in front of a psychiatric hospital. Then a nurse came out. Yes. But as you can see from the options here, these two words are not there. So which means that it's something else. But if you at this point haven't figured out which word it is, I strongly advise you to skip. Because you see, there are other parts of the text that you can be certain of. In other words, you know what the answer is because you have already worked on the reconstruction of the transcript and the preparation questions for reported speech. So let's go ahead and do that. So she, blah, 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 the nurse. So she did something to the nurse or with the nurse. Again, if you're not certain, skip that one. Because you know this. She told her. You know what she said to the nurse. Okay, so she told her to talk to someone. Well, and at this point, if you go back to the other previous exercises, if you need to, you're going to remember that you need this verb here. Because that's what Mrs. Carson said. She told the nurse that she needed to talk. Okay, when you talk to somebody. So she needed to talk to someone. But she didn't say that only. She said something else. She added to that. So she said she needed to talk to someone and that a darkness. Okay? So what is the verb that we can use to link this? So she, blah, blah, blah. She, a darkness. Okay? We need a verb. She invited a darkness. She would a darkness. She come a darkness. No. It's obvious. It's she had a darkness because, again, that's what appears in the previous two slides, the previous two exercises. So she had a darkness, and she specifically said something about this darkness. She said that she couldn't control. So you see, you shouldn't have a problem with these words. And by placing them in the right place, you reduce the number of options here. So later, for you to figure out what are the missing words there, this is going to be much easier. Okay, so the nurse, blah, 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 something, Mrs. Carson. We need a verb here, okay? So try to remember the story and see what happened. Well, you're going to figure out that the nurse invited Mrs. Carson to come with her and told her that she, if you're in doubt about this, skip, she would, blah, 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 see if they could help her. Because this one, again, you can extract from the top. And now you've got these three words to place. So Mrs. Carson was in front of a psychiatric hospital. When a nurse came out, she approached nurse and told her she needed to talk to someone. Okay. So the nurse invited Mrs. Carson to come with her and told her she would see if they could help her. But this is what I would like you to do. I would like you to try that. But if you're having doubts, another thing that you can do is this. You can leave out a few words that you're not sure. Make sure you put the ones that you are sure of their right position. Place them in the right place. And then play the audio. And then use the audio to help you figure out where the other words go.
Mrs. Carlson was in front of a psychiatric hospital when a nurse came out. She approached the nurse and told her she needed to talk to someone and that she had a darkness she couldn't control. The nurse invited Mrs. Carlson to come with her and told her.
And then, once again, if you need to play this audio more than once, by all means do that. Because the more you play with this exercise, the more you interact with it, the more you learn, the more you gain. And that's how I think you should go about exploring this activity here. Okay? So have fun with it and enjoy your learning experience.